Do you? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Nick's Sunday night quiz. It's great to see so many people already signed on, raring to go as usual. Let's just quickly have a look, see what rounds we've got for tonight's quiz, just to keep you going. We have our first round, as usual, is entitled Sunday the 28th of March, Sunday 28th of March. Round number 2 will be pretty straightforward. It's all about Ireland, something to do with the island of Ireland. Round number 3 is an initial letter link, which is pretty straightforward. We all know how that works. Round number 4 is entitled Q. The letter Q, somewhere in the answer or in the question, will be something about Q. Round number 5 is a trivia trail, where the last letter of your first answer is the first letter of the next one, until you get to number 10, where the last letter of number 10 is the first letter of number 1. That's pretty straightforward. And then some general trivia just to polish you all off with right at the end. So some general trivia in round 6, just to kill you all off. Right then, we've got Martin and Tina have just joined us from sunny Dunchurch. So good evening, Martin. Tina, hope all is well with you and you're keeping well. I see Wales were a little bit lucky with the rugby, but never mind. Well done, Wales. And here's to them. Squeaky Bob have just joined us. So we've got, she's saying, hello, Neil and Tracy are here. What's that? Washing up. Oh, they're doing the washing up. Never mind. Well, of course, we'll see how many people have forgotten to put their clocks forward today. Especially our friends in the USA, Lisa Lasky, who last year forgot that we'd put the clocks back. Not that it was her fault. She was an hour early. Well, of course, this year she's going to be an hour late. Perhaps not realise it, but we'll see. Clive and Janet have just joined us with the T-Sisters saying good evening. Hi, Nick, Lydia, and everybody else. And Lydia's just posted back good evening. So, and Keith Mitchell's just joined us. Good evening, Keith. Hope all is well with you from sunny Minehead. How's it been in Minehead today? We've had a rather cloudy and a very windy day today, certainly in rugby. In fact, it was so windy today that I virtually got free electricity from midday until 4 this afternoon. So I put plenty of juice in the car. We had the oven on, we had the dishwasher on, we had the heating on. Anything that could go on went on this afternoon just to use up my free electricity. There we have it. That was all because the UK was producing such an amount of wind power today. It was amazing, but there we have it. Right, Mick and Bev have just joined us. Good evening, Mick. Good evening, Bev. Hope all is well with you too. Vanessa's just joined us. She's saying good evening. So Vanessa Hughes, that's great to see you, Vanessa. Hope all is well with you. And I'm sure you're raring to do battle again in tonight's quiz. Andrew Lewis has just joined us. So good evening, Andrew and Jane. I hope you're both keeping well and managing to stay fit. I expect, like me and the wife, me and Ange, you'll have both have had your injections as well by now. So we're looking forward to the pubs beginning to open up again. We're now beginning to do a bit of work to get them back up and running. But we've decided we're not going to open ours until May time when more restrictions have been lifted. Anyway, that's by the by. PRS have just joined us. So good evening, Robin and Matthew and Claire. Hope you're all keeping well. Have you got Barney up to help you tonight? That's what I'm going to ask you. So perhaps Barney's not gone to bed yet because of the changing time, so he might be helping your quiz team tonight. Faye and the Booby Prize girls have just joined us. She's saying, good evening from the Boobies. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. Well, we have, thanks, Faye. And I have to say very much thank you for that chocolate cake. We did. It was delicious, and we had it. Well, I had it on numerous occasions last week, served with some fresh cream, which was absolutely superb. Keith saying a bit like yours, windy and overcast, but a bit warmer. Yes, it was a bit warmer today. We went out, Ange and I, on the bike on Saturday, did 30 miles, and it was quite windy then, but it was quite cold as well, surprisingly. Today definitely was a bit warmer, but still very windy, but never mind. Roy's saying everybody seems to be making a fuss over putting the clocks forward, but I haven't lost any sleep over it. Nice one, Roy. Keep them coming. That's what I like to see. Joke of the day starts with Roy Job. That's 1 point to you, Roy. Jed and Tracy are saying good evening all. They're signing in. So good evening, Jed, Tracy. Hope you're both keeping well. Kevin Kinnan's also just joined us from the Rugby Rotary Club. So Good evening, all our Rotarian friends. I hope you're all keeping well, and get in touch with Kevin to make sure you've got a good, strong team tonight. Now then, just talking of that, let's just go through some of last week's results because we had some fine displays as normal. In first place last week on 60 points, so we had joint winners. We had the Quizzy Rascals, that's Val Barnes and Paula Flynn, and Carol Green also on 60 points, which was a fantastic score considering I think there were only 63 points to be had last week. So they managed to go the whole quiz and only dropped 3 points, which was amazing. Just behind them on 59 points, we had Debbie McCarthy, 59 points. We had Split the Difference on 59 points, and we had the Teasers on 59 points. So that was a fantastic result for them. Closely behind, we had the Ridgeways on a fantastic 58.5 points. So well played, the Ridgeways. And just behind the Ridgeways, we had Mick Roberts and PRS, both on 57.5 points. And then we had Don Quixote, 57. We had the Rugby Roach Club on 56.5, with the Famous Five on 56, and Dave and Anne on 55.5 points. I reckon anybody in the 50s last week did remarkably well. So well done, everybody, because that was our 100th quiz, which I'm sure you all enjoyed at least. That's what I think anyway. Right then, let's see who else has just joined us. We've got Andy Smith just said good evening. Good evening, Andy. Hope all is well with you. Graham Gifford is just saying, so that's Graham and Jane. They're saying good evening from a windy upper Toft. So good evening, Graham and Jane. Hope you're both keeping well. Have you got my brother Steve also in the village joining in with the quiz tonight? You'll have to let me know. Footy Fox 86, they're saying good evening. So good evening, Footy Fox 86. What's that? Debbie's saying, evening all, just tuned in as you were reading the scores out. Excellent. Well done, Debbie. You did very well last week. And let's see how you fare tonight. Pick and Mix have just joined us. So good evening, Pick and Mix. Now, do remember, my quizzes are quite regular now. We do one on a Sunday night and one on a Wednesday night, 8 for 8:15 start. If you enjoy doing the quizzes, do feel free to just hit the subscribe button at the bottom, which will automatically give you updates on when the next quizzes are. Not that you need to know because you probably know already. And do feel free to hit the like button. I try and get about 40 likes on a Sunday night, so just hit that like button. It doesn't take anything, does it? Anybody on the screen, hit the like button, and we'll see whether I can get a few more likes before the evening's gone. Right, Robin saying, here's a travel tip. If you're queuing at a supermarket in Limerick, the third and fourth lines are shortest. Very clever, Robin. I like that one. You'll be pleased to know we have a round on Ireland tonight, just to keep you going on that theme. Ireland. Dave Anderson's just joining. So Anne and Dave have just joined us from sunny Essex. I hope it's been sunny down there. I don't know. But I hope you, I expect it's a bit like us. It's been overcast most of the UK, but pretty windy. Right, the Ridgeways have just signed in, and I'm saying the Ridgeways signing in from a grey and windy Welton. A grey and windy Welton. You'll have to let me know when the pub's opening, Trish, whether it's, I presume with their garden, I would expect them to be opening in April. You better let me know so that we can get over there on our bike. Ian Anthony James is saying Don Quixote are signing in from Rugby, Lower Hill Morton, London, and Dave as a consultant in mid-Lancashire. Well, that's a good spread of, certainly geographical spread anyway for a team. So good evening to all in Don Quixote. Hope you're all keeping well. And let's see how you fare tonight. Don Quixote did very well last week with 57 points. They only dropped, 6 in the whole quiz, so you can't go far wrong with that. Michelle Charlie have just joined us. Is James with you as well tonight, Michelle? You'll have to let me know. So good evening to our friends in Crick. And then we've got Mike Yates has just joined us. Good evening, Mike. I hope you're keeping well. Dave's just replying to my question there. Is it overcast in Essex? Yes, it's overcast in Essex. Well, never mind. And a bit windy, I expect, but never mind. John's just joined us. John Hunwick. He's saying good evening, everybody. So good evening, John. I hope you're keeping well. Raring to do battle tonight. Ian has just joined us. So we've got Ian Sharrett, along with Harry, Julie, Ian, and his bottle of trusty Shiraz, of course. So I hope the Shiraz is keeping well. A fresh bottle, I trust. John O'Rourke and the Famous Five are just joining us. Now, John did very well last week, the Famous Five, 56 points. Well played, the Famous Five. And the Quizzy Rascals, Paula Lewis and Val Barnes, I trust, have joined us tonight again. Now, they were joint winners last week, along with Carol Green on a fantastic 60 points. So well played them. Penny Graham's just joined us from sunny Essex as well. So good evening, Penny. Hope you are keeping well and raring to do some quizzing tonight. Now, we have 5 minutes to go. So before any further, just let me know if there are anybody's birthdays, either today or this week coming up, so that I can sing them one of my marvellous birthday greetings, or indeed play it through my phone, as some people prefer. So just let me know if there's any greetings to be had. It is my granddaughter's birthday today, and also my business partner's two daughters as well. It's their birthday today, but anybody that's doing the quiz, just let me know, and we will I will sing you happy birthday to keep you all going. Michelle's just saying James is indeed, he's looking forward to it. Excellent. That's what we like to see, James. You'll always learn something each week, even if it's a load of old twaddle that you never really wanted to know. Now, I'm starting this evening, rather than on an astringent India Pale Ale, or IPA, as I like to call it, we're on some plum porter tonight. So we're on a dark beer, a fruit and red ruby beer to keep us going. Being Titanic, it should go down very well. Right, Jill Pugh and Steve have just joined us from Middletoft. So good evening to Jill and Steve, I trust. I hope you're both keeping well and raring to go tonight. Chris Meads has just joined us. Good evening, Nick and Lydia. Good evening, Chris. Hope all keeping well. Well, you were this afternoon when I saw you, so I trust you're still okay, obviously, by the looks of things. Georgie's just joined us, so Georgie and Rory. The Yorkies have just joined us from sunny York. Now, what's the weather been like there, Georgia? Is it overcast like the rest of the country, or have you been one of the fortunate ones with a little bit of sunshine for the day? I don't know. You'll have to let us know. It's been windy everywhere, that's for sure, but never mind. Right, then, with 3 minutes to go, I will just run through the 6 rounds that we have for you tonight. We're starting off, round number 1 is entitled Sunday, the 28th of M-A-R, March. So you take the initial letters and or numbers of the word Sunday, followed by the 2 numbers 2-8, followed by the 2 letters TH, followed by the 3 letters M-A-R. That will give us 13 possible answers, I think. Wait a minute. It's not 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, 13 possible answers to round 1. Round number 2, John overall could be looking forward to this one. This is entitled Island. Ireland, pretty straightforward round, nothing too testing. Test a bit of geography and history of Ireland, so or general knowledge of Ireland. So round number 2 is all about the island of Ireland, surprisingly. Round number 3 is an initial letter link, Round number 4 tonight is entitled the Q round, something to do with the letter Q, or loosely to do with Q, if that makes any sense. So the letter Q will either appear in the answer or in the question, or in the case of 1 or 2 of the questions, not in either, but never mind, you'll get the idea of it. Round number 5 tonight is entitled the Trivia Trail, where the last letter of the first answer is the first letter of your next answer. You get the idea with that one. And finally, tonight, round number 6 is a general trivia round, which I'm sure you'll all enjoy. Right, Sarah and Russ have just joined us from sunny Worcester. Hope all is well with Sarah and Russ, and I trust James and Joe have joined you tonight. So full complement, is it, Sarah? You'll have to let me know. I'm sure it probably is. So great to see you, and thanks for joining us again tonight. As I had probably thought, Lisa Lasker, I haven't seen her name come up tonight, from sunny California. 6 months ago, when we put the clocks back, she was an hour early. I'm expecting her to log in an hour late tonight, because you won't have realised that the UK time difference has changed. I should have mentioned that in last week's quiz, so everybody was aware of it, but never mind. I'm sure she'll enjoy it all the same. Right, I'm going to get the quiz up on my screen, which is pretty straightforward. There we go. Right, Pinky and Perky have also just joined us, so good evening, Pinky, Perky, Diane. Great to see you. I hope you're all keeping well and raring to do battle as always. We have 70 odd people taking part tonight at the moment live, and I've got 21 likes, so do feel free to hit the like button. If you already haven't done it, hit that like button. The more likes the better. Gets me up the YouTube rankings if nothing else. You'll also notice I should now be in widescreen, and I should also be in slightly higher audio definition than before, as we've been, well, not spending any money really, but a little bit to get it going a bit better. Chris has just joined us. Evening, Nick. The wife and I are reporting for duty from Newton. Excellent. Well, in that case, Chris, you can't have any rude jokes about the wife tonight, otherwise there won't be any to be sleeping in different bedrooms if it's anything like last week. At least I think it was you. Perhaps I'm mistaking you, Chris. Sorry. Anyway, let's just hope Chris, Roy, Ian, whoever is on board, let's have some good jokes to keep us all going. Carol Green saying the audio is definitely better. Good. Right, here we go then. Round number one, starting with the letter S, remember, as in Sunday. Round number one, question number one. Which English football team currently competing in the Championship play their home matches in a city suburb called Owlerton? There's a good one for you. So, which English football team currently competing in the Championship play their home matches in a city suburb called Owlerton? So Chris is saying, good to see you in widescreen. You can now see all of the wife. You would be able to if I reversed the camera angle and put it facing that way. Actually, I probably can do that with a flick of a switch somewhere, but never mind. I'll have to try that when she's not looking. Right then, she's moving. Right, she's off now. Question number two, starting with the letter U. Now, this is a three-word answer, not an easy one to get you going, but listen carefully. What is the more common title for the novel Life Amongst the Lowly, an anti-slavery novel by American author Harriet Beecher Stowe? So if you need to know one novel by Harriet Beecher Stowe, it's probably this one. So what is the more common title for the novel Life Among the Lowly, an anti-slavery novel by American author Harriet Beecher Stowe? It's a three-word answer, and it starts with the letter U. I'm wondering whether the Yorkies should get that one. They must have read that. Maybe not. Cheers all, by the way. I'm now sporting my... This is my 2006 Rotherham Oakwood Beer Festival, which was held in some school hall, which was quite interesting, but never mind. We stayed in a B&B not far away, just for a night out in Rotherham. Great. Oh, yes, this was my wife's glass, because I dropped mine out of my coat into the gutter. But never mind, we did have two of them, but a matching pair, but we've only got one now. Question number three, starting with the letter N. At a height of 2,103 meters above sea level, Mogoton is the tallest mountain in which Central American country? Doesn't come up very often, that one. At a height of 2,103 meters above sea level, Mogoton is the tallest mountain in which Central American country? That's got to start with the letter N, which narrows it down a lot. Question number four, starting with the letter D. Which city can be clearly traced back to 995 AD, when a group of monks from Lindisfarne chose the strategic High Peninsula as a place to settle and build a church to lay the body of St. Cuthbert? Jed's on the bespoke tonight. Excellent. So question four again, which city can be clearly traced back to 995 AD, when a group of monks from Lindisfarne chose the strategic High Peninsula as a place to settle and build a church to lay the body of St. Cuthbert? Oh, Stuart's just retracted. I was just about to read that, Stuart. Bother, my screen's getting a bit behind my... Right, question number 5. Listen carefully. Which political party was founded and registered with the Electoral Commission by retired television producer Laurie Flynn on the 8th of February 2021? That starts with the letter A. Great. I think that's it's because I'm on high definition, that's why. Can't change it, that's the problem. I'm just hoping it'll catch up. I'm sorry I'm out of sync. I'm a bit, high definition, that's the problem. And I think it's slowing my computer down. You better not look at me, I suppose. Just listen to me. Right, question number 6. Listen carefully. What name is given to a domed dwelling that can be packed up and was originally used by the Mongols and Turks? Is the sound coming before the picture or the picture coming? I don't know how I'm going to change this. I don't think I can change it without stopping the stream. That's the problem. I need a faster computer. That's the answer. Right, question 7. What is the maximum capacity of cars allowed to compete in an official Formula 1 Grand Prix race? It is also the number of complete miles in a marathon. So question 7 again. What is the maximum capacity of cars allowed to compete in an official Formula 1 Grand Prix race? It's also the number of complete miles in a marathon. Good. Sorry about the delay. I'll have to go down a definition. I've been in touch with the company that supplied the software for this high definition thing. Unfortunately, I think it's my computer's too slow. Question number 8. Listen to this carefully. It starts with the number 8. It's a 2-digit answer. What was the number of years between the signing of the US Declaration of Independence and the Battle of Gettysburg? It was immortalized in Abraham Lincoln's address with the phrase 77 years ago. It is also the number assigned to the first black hole ever photographed. Surprisingly. So I'm sure you can work that one out. What was the number of years between the signing of the US Declaration of Independence and the Battle of Gettysburg, immortalized in Abraham Lincoln's address with the phrase 407 years ago. It is also the number assigned to the first black hole ever photographed. Question number 9. I'm sure you all get this one. Starting with the letter T. Born in Caerphilly, which Welsh comedian and magician's catchphrase was just like that? Not like that. Like that. Oh dear. So born in Caerphilly, which Welsh comedian and magician's catchphrase was just like that? 2-word answer, starting, of course, with the letter T. No extra points, obviously, for I wasn't thinking of doing, Robin. You're all right. Question number 10. What is an American sitcom that first aired in 1974 and starred Ron Howard as young Richie Cunningham and Henry Winkler as his friend Fonzie? That's a 2-word answer, starting with the letter H. So what is an American sitcom that first aired in 1974 and starred Ron Howard as a young Richie Cunningham and Henry Winkler as his friend Fonzie? I think it's caught up, it's resynced. Question number 11, derived from late Latin, meaning to chew. What is the anatomical name which is used to describe the lower jawbone? Sing it, Nick, says Martin. I can't remember that. I can't actually. Yeah, I can almost remember it. Question number 12, starting with the letter A. This is a stupid question. One I found in one of the, I think it was in The Guardian, actually, but never mind. So Robin Miller might get this one. In what month of the year, do remember, it starts with the letter A. In what month of the year might you celebrate National Hug Your Dog Day, National Beer Day, and National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day? They all happen in this one month of the year, starting with the letter A. So in what month of the year might you celebrate National Hug Your Dog Day, National Beer Day, and National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day? Ah, that's right. Phil's just put Monday, Tuesday. That's what it was, wasn't it? Monday, Tuesday. Keep putting the clues in, Phil. That's what we like to see. I might be able to remember the whole. Question number 13. My daughter suggested that this word never actually exists, but never mind. What is the leporidic connection between the words White, Peter, and Jessica? So question number 13 again. What is the leporidic connection between the words White, Peter, and Jessica? And even if the word leporidic doesn't exist, I hope you've got the hang of it. Got to make them up sometimes, even if you don't know them. I just don't think it's often used as an adjective, that's all, but never mind. Right then, everybody, that's the end of round 1. I'm sorry if I was a little bit out of sync. I still am when I look at myself on the picture. My daughter, Lids, has not put the answers down yet, so just give her a second. She will write the answers down quickly for us before I go blurting them all out. What's that? Carol's just put, I ran the London Marathon in 1993, and the 0.2 was the worst bit. Oh dear. Oh dear. I can't think of anything worse actually than trying to run a marathon. I remember doing a 5,000 meter fun run once, and it was about as much fun. God knows, nearly killed me, I have to say. I don't mind cycling for thousands of miles, but I think running a marathon, that's fair play to you, Carol. Was that for any particular charity, or did you? Well, I'm sure it was for some reason. But well played you. Right then, are we about ready, Lid? Let me go through the answers then. Here we are. Here are the answers to the first 13 questions. Let's see how you fared. The English football team competing in the championship. The home matches are played in a city suburb called Owlerton. Well, the Owls is the nickname for Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday. So well done if you got that. Question number 2. What is the more common name for the title Life Among the Lowly? It was an anti-slavery novel by author Harriet Beecher Stowe. That was Uncle Tom's Cabin. Uncle Tom's Cabin. I know you've all heard of it. It's whether you can get that or not. So it's probably the only one you need to know from Harriet. Well, it's not. Question number 3, of course, was Nicaragua. Though I don't think there are other Central American states with the letter N. Nicaragua. Number 4, of course, was the city of Durham, which is built on the High Peninsula near Lindisfarne. Number 5, of course, that political party which we only heard of last week, which, of course, Alex Salmon is now the leader, is called the Alba Party. It was first registered back in February by a retired television producer called Laurie Flynn, apparently, after doing a bit of research. Isn't that that's interesting? Question number 6, what name is given to a domed dwelling that can be packed up and was originally used by the Mongols and Turks? That was a yurt. Well done if you got that. Number 7, of course, was 26, as in 26 Grand Prix cars or 26 miles. Number 8, that, of course, 4-7 is 87. It's also the number assigned to the first black hole ever photographed, apparently. Number 9, of course, was Tommy Cooper. Number 10 was Happy Days, Monday, Tuesday. Was it Happy Days? Something like that. Monday, Tuesday, Happy Days. Sorry, I won't sing it. Number 11 is the Mandible. Number 12, National Beer Day. Everybody should know that, of course. And National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day is in April. Well done. Shame if you put August, but it's April. And finally, number 13, what is the leporidic connection between the words White Peter and Jessica? That, of course, is rabbits. Lepidae, of course, is the classification of rabbits. Right then, let's have some scores in and see how we have fared. Well, the Rugby Rotary Club have scored a clean sweep there with 13 points. Well played them, because that wasn't the easiest opening round. The Wheat Links have scored 12. Michelle scored 12. Sarah, Russ, James and Joe scored 12. Dave Anderson scored 12. Carol Green scored 13. PRS have scored 12. The Famous 5 have scored 11. Jill and Steve Pure on 12. Mike Yates is on 11. Jed and Tracy are on 12. Trish Ridgway's are on 13. We've got Ian, Harry Julian, his bottle of Shiraz on 13 points. Faye is saying 10 for the pair of us. That's the Booby Prize girls. They're on 10. We've got Squeaky Bob on 11. The Teasers are on at 13. The Quizzy Rascals, that's Paula Lewis and Val Barnes are on 13. We've got Penny Graham on 12. Graham Gifford and Jane are on 13. Home Alone 6 are on 12. Oh my goodness, it's just gone off my screen. We've got Split the Difference on 13. Pick a Mix on 12. Georgie and Rory are on 11. We've got Mick and Bev on 13. John Humwick's on 11. What's that? The weekend comes, the cycle hums. Pinky and Perky are on 12. Keith Mitchell's on 11. Don Quizotto, fantastic opening score on 13. 40 Fox 86 are on 9. We've got Chris Beak on 12. Devin McCarthy starts with an 11. And Phil also with an 11. Well played, Phil. Robin Miller, Fun Run is an oxymoron, like military intelligence and McDonald's restaurants. That is very, I couldn't have put that better myself, actually, Robin. Fun Run is certainly an oxymoron, and I think the other military intelligence. Oh dear, that's funny. Sorry, everybody, if you don't see the bright side on that, but I thought that was very funny. Have Rosie and Jim gone to Egypt, says Clive. Oh, see ya. Gets worse. Now then, round number 2 is all about Ireland. So if there's anybody here from Ireland or got any Irish connections, I've always had a bit of flack for never having any Irish questions in my quiz. So I thought we'd do a round on Ireland just to keep you all going. Carol said, I ran the marathon to raise money for the RNIB and Childline. The distance is 26.2 miles, 28 years ago. Good. Yeah, it's 26 miles, 300 and something yards, isn't it? Exactly. I can't remember, but never mind. I was going to put that down, Carol, but I thought we'd just round it up a bit, or down. Right then. I'm half a second behind again. Oh, no, I've caught up. Ireland, here we go then. Question number 1. What is the name of the area of around 40,000 interlocking basalt columns on the north coast of Northern Ireland that was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1986? Good. Debbie, you should be able to get all these then, I hope. So question number 1, what is the name of the area of around 40,000 interlocking basalt columns on the north coast of Northern Ireland that was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1986? It's a place I'd love to go, and I haven't seen it, so it's time I went, I think. As soon as we're back up and running, that's another one to tick off. Question number 2, according to legend, what type of animal did St. Patrick banish from Ireland, with there still being none there in the wild? So question number 2 again. According to legend, what type of animal did St. Patrick banish from Ireland, with there still being none there in the wild? Squeaky Pub. I've been there. I'm sure a lot of people have been there. It's just that I haven't. But never mind. I would love to go. Question number 3. I think we had this in a different format some months ago, but let's see whether you can remember this. What is the length of the border between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland? Now, I'm going to give you 3 choices. Is it 110 miles, 210 miles, or 310 miles? That's quite a difference. So what's the length of the border between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland? I'll give you the choice. Is it 110 miles, 210 miles, or 310 miles? Now, question number 4. Don't worry about the spelling. Question number 4, resembling the deep hoarse sound made by a frog, what is the name of the stadium in Dublin that hosts the finals of the main competitions in both Gaelic football and hurling? So question 4 again, resembling the deep hoarse sound made by a frog, what is the name of the stadium in Dublin that hosts the finals of the main competitions in both Gaelic football and hurling? Chris has put, I ran a marathon, then a Mars bar with a final Milky Way. Oh dear. That is something I have no desire to ever do, I think, is run a marathon. It just sounds far too much hard work, and it's going to knacker my back before anything, I'm sure. Too old to do it, I think. Question number 5. At a length of 224 miles, what is the longest river on the island of Ireland? So question 5 again, at a length of 224 miles, what is the longest river on the Isle of Ireland, or the island of Ireland? Oh, what a Snickers then. Oh dear. I was undecided betwixt and between, says Chris. Oh dear. I don't know what's going on here. Oh dear, I'm out of sync again. I'll wait. Question number 6 is multiple choice, really. In the TV show, Mrs. Brown's Boys, is the TV show Mrs. Brown's Boys set in Northern Ireland or the Republic of Ireland? So question 6 again. Is the TV show Mrs. Brown's Boys set in Northern Ireland or the Republic of Ireland? I noticed, Leslie, I think it's resynced itself again. I think it's just my computer trying to keep up. Great to see you anyway, Sif. I hope you're keeping well. Question number 7. Spelt the same as the surname of a famous fictional TV family. What is the southernmost province in Ireland? I know I'm giving all these away, really, aren't I? So question 7 again, spelt the same as the surname of a famous fictional TV family. What is the southernmost province in Ireland? Question number 8 is something to do with the flag. Is the green stripe on the left or the right or in the middle of the flag of the Republic of Ireland? So if you look at the flag of Ireland, is the green stripe even on the left, the right, or in the middle of the flag? Question number 9 is an either or, again, located 5 degrees 55 minutes west. Which of the following lies further east? I'll give you the choice. Is it Belfast or Dublin? They're not far apart from each other, apparently, but located 5 degrees 55 minutes west. Which of the following lies further east? I'll give you the choice. Is it Belfast or Dublin? I would expect Hoist, Clive, to be fair. Isn't that the way we normally look at flags? And finally, question number 10 in this dead easy Irish round. Dating from 1780, what is by far the best-selling brand of Irish whiskey in the world? So question number 10, dating from 1780, what is by far the best-selling brand of Irish whiskey in the world? Right then, there we have it. 10 questions on Ireland. Not too tricky, I don't think, those. I hope you got most of them right. Might have a Welsh round next week. Maybe not. There's too many Welsh people, I think. Could have a Scottish round, I suppose, or a Northern Ireland round. Right, have we had long enough on that round? I think there was a few guesses maybe, but I gave you plenty of choices there. So are we all right, Liz, to do some marking? Oh, Martin wants a bit more time. All right, Martin, no problem. Probably give my computer a chance to catch up. The fan's running fast and the processor's running hard. My computer's got a Core i5 Intel processor. I think it needs an i7 and a bit more beef in it, but never mind. Oh, that was a yes to a Welsh round, said Martin. I'm sure you'd appreciate that, Martin. Perhaps we'll have one. Right then, let's do some marking on round number 2. Obviously, number 1, the interlocking basalt columns, of course, better known as the Giant's Causeway. Number 2, St. Patrick banished snakes from Ireland, of course. Question number 3, the length of the border. Well, it's 310 miles, so it's quite a long border there. Number 4, it was a stupid one with the sound of a frog. That's Croke Park, of course, Croke Park. Number 5 was the River Shannon. Number 6, I was after the Republic of Ireland. Mrs. Brown's Boys is set in. Number 7 was Munster, as in the Munsters, of course, the family. Number 8, the green stripe is on the left. Number 9, located at 5 degrees, 55 minutes west. It's Belfast, which lies furthest east. And finally, number 10, dating from 1780, the most popular Irish whiskey brand is Jameson. Jameson. So well done if you got Jameson. There we have it. Right, let's have some scores in, see how you fared after that little round. Liz, you want to go and get me a little bit of tissue, would you? Seem to be swimming a bit in beer here. I don't know why.
To be trusted.
Hmm.
It's all the chairs.
Not on the chair.
No, it's not there.
Oh, geez. Right, let's have some scores in. We have Squeaky Bob. Well done, Squeaky Bob. 20 points. PRS have moved on to 21. Sarah Ross, James and Moa on 19. Jed and Tracy are on 19. We've got the Wheat Links on 20. Chris Speaks moved on to 19. Clive and Janet and the Teasers have moved on to 22 points, as has Carol Green. Well played, you two. Famous Five have moved on to 20 with Mick and Bev Roberts on 21. Dave and Anderson on 17, with Graham and Jane Gifford on 22 points. Split the difference, however, on 23. Phil's moved on to 20. We've got Penny Graham on 20. John Hunwick's on 21. Footy Fox 86 have moved on to 14 points. We have, oh, my mother has just gone off the screen. Georgie and Rory and the Yorkers have moved on to 17 points, with Pinky and Berkey doing very well tonight. A fantastic 21 points. Home Alone 6 have moved on to 19. Don Quizzotti have now moved on to 22 points. Faye's just put in, we're on 16 hashtag. 16 hashtag points is great. Jill Pugh's now moved on to 21 points. Well played, Stephen Jill. Debbie McCarthy has moved on to 19 after the Irish round. Mick and Bev on 21. We've got the Quizzy Rascals also on 23 points, as is the Rugby Rotary Club also on 23 points. Harry, Julian, Ian and his bottle of Shroud, they've added 10 to their score. They're also on 23 points. Michelle says we're on 21 points. Good round. Family hail from Ira. Excellent. The Ridgeways, Trish and Anthony and Paul have moved on to 20. Keith Mitchell's moved on to 18. Well played, Keith. Pick a Mix now on 21 with Mike Yates on 17 points. So well played, Mike. Right then, everybody. Round number 3 tonight is an initial letter link. We have 10 general knowledge questions where the answer to the final question can be spelt out by rearranging the first letters of the first words in the first 9 answers. We got the idea. Good. The wife's just finishing mopping up the beer. So while she's doing that, or my beer, I mean, yes, never mind. Do feel free, of course, to hit the like button or the subscribe button if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also have a Facebook page, nicks+pub+Quizzes. You can always link on that so that you can make sure you take part in everything that I do or not, as the case may be. Right then, question number 1. Listen carefully. Widely regarded as the finest work in classical Arabic literature and written circa 610 AD, the Quran is the holy book of which religion? Just a one-word answer I'm after. So widely regarded as the finest work in classical Arabic literature and written circa 610 AD, the Quran is the holy book of which religion? Question number 2. The archaeological site of Troy is a World heritage site that is located in which modern day country? What's he put? Yorkshire. He's just joined us. He's saying evening late. Well, you're nearly an hour late, Ian. I hope the clocks were right. I hope you're not late because you didn't put the clocks back. Great to see you. He's talking about the religion of Yorkshire. A great religion too. I do hope, Ian, you're just, I was telling everybody earlier, I have my Rotherham Oakwood Beer Festival glass here in front of me. Just to prove that I have also been to Yorkshire at one time or another. Question number 3, listen carefully. Linked to the works of the 4th century monk, Evrigus Ponticus, who listed 8 evil thoughts in Greek. What is a psychological 1995 crime thriller starring detectives which were played by Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman? That is a one-word answer I'm after. So linked to the works of the 4th century monk, Evrigus Ponticus, who listed 8 evil thoughts in Greek. What is a psychological 1995 crime thriller film starring detectives played by Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman? It's a one-word answer. Question number 4. This is a place I've never bought from, but I'm sure you can. What is a Chinese multinational company specializing in e-commerce? It's also the name of the woodcutter who discovers that the phrase open sesame can open a cave in which the 40 thieves have hidden treasure. Now that's a 2-word answer. So question 4 again, what is a Chinese multinational company specializing in e-commerce? It is also the name of the woodcutter who discovers that the phrase open sesame can open a cave in which the 40 thieves have hidden treasure. Now, do remember with the initial letter link, when we get to the final letter, it will help you with 1 or 2 of the answers that you might think, oh, I've got the wrong answer down there. We need to change it. So you can wait right to the end if you're struggling. Isn't that the party there? Alex joined. Yeah, you're about right. Not far off. Oh, dear. Yes, you can drop a few letters there, Clive. You're all right. Question number 5. In 1987, which singer who had previously represented the United Kingdom in the Eurovision Song Contest took over from Julie Walters to play the title character's mother in the TV series The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole? It's a bit of a windy old question, isn't it? So in 1987, which singer who had previously represented the United Kingdom in the Eurovision Song Contest took over from Julie Walters to play the title character's mother in the TV series The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole? Just think of your Eurovision singers. You can't go far wrong. Clearly got to be female if it's the character's mother, and it took over from Julie Walters. So come on, there's a few clues in that. I'm sure you can work that one out. Question number 6 is a bit tricky. I think I would have got this one wrong, but never mind. Behind Windermere, and with an area of 3.5 square miles, what is the name of the second largest lake in the Lake District? It's a 1-word answer, if that helps. So behind Windermere, and with an area of 3.5 square miles, what is the name of the second largest lake in the Lake District? Yes, I can see a lot of the teams thinking this is a bit more testing than the previous rounds. Never mind. You might get a clue at the end, which will help you. Question number 7 doesn't help whatsoever. Come on, Roy Job. I'm sure you'll get this one. Founded by English teacher Isaac Newell in 1903. Newell's Old Boys is a famous football team located in which South American country? So question 7 again. Founded by English teacher Isaac Newell in 1903. Newell's Old Boys is a famous football team located in which South American country? To be fair, I had never heard of them, so they can't be that famous, but perhaps it's just me being ignorant. I'm sure a lot of you will have heard of it, will have heard of them. And question number 8, derived from Latin terms meaning both and right, what name is given to the property of being equally skilled with each hand? So derived from Latin terms meaning both and right, what name is given to the property of being equally skilled with each hand? Yeah, I get you. All right. Should we call it a mere then? PRS have just put, there's only one lake in the Lake District. Fair enough. Let's not be pedantic. We know what we mean. Piece of water, large expanse of H2O. I could have put it in various other ways, I suppose. Question number 9. This is a dead easy one, which will help you a bit. During the Great Plague, what colour of crosses were painted on the front doors of plague-ridden houses? I think they should have brought that back. But during the Great Plague, what colour of crosses were painted on the front doors of plague-ridden houses? Now, I'm sure most teams will have got the last two at least, so that gives you a bit of help with this one. So question number 10, listen carefully. Obviously, it's a 9-letter answer. The first letters of the first words in the previous 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the name of which country, which is the only country with a 9-letter name made up entirely of letters that would score 1 point each in Scrabble. So clearly there's no Z's, J's or Q's in there, are there? So the first letters of the first words in the previous 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the name of which country, which is the only country with a 9-letter name made up entirely of letters that would score 1 point each in Scrabble. Probably means there's going to be a lot of vowels in there, I expect, because they're all 1 point, aren't they? O's, I's, O's, U's. Now, I'm going to give you a minute or so with that little lot, so you can try and work 1 or 2 backwards. If you can get the country, remember it's a 9-letter country. It's a country I'm sure a few of you will have been to. And if you know anything about the game of Scrabble, it cannot contain, obviously, the higher value letters. Right, Lydia's put all the questions down in the chat column for you. So hopefully you can look at those. Now, we've had a great turnout again tonight with concurrent 82, 83 users concurrently taking part, which is brilliant. I'm sure one night we're going to break the 100. Oh, I've gone out of sync again. Good heavens, it's blowing a gale out there. Right, does anybody need any more time? In which case, I'll drink a little bit of beer. These are tricky rounds, but generally you can work it out if you work hard at it. Yes, it's been very windy today around the UK. As I mentioned earlier, I was getting almost free electricity this afternoon from 1 o'clock until 4 o'clock. Whilst you're thinking about it, I'm just going to eat this delicious, not quite sure what flavour it is, lemony lime flavoured Thornton's chocolate. Martin's just saying it's blowing a gale everywhere. 49% of lecky coming from wind turbines as we speak. Well, there we have it. Ian's put Alex Salmon's new party is hoping to do well at the Scottish elections in May. Another albatross around his neck. Oh dear. I wonder whether he'll win any seats at all. We'll see. He might win his own. Right then, everybody. Is it time to do some marking? That's what we've got to ask ourselves. Have you got all the answers yet, Anne? No.
Yes.
Right. Here we go then. We start off widely regarded as the finest working classical Arabic literature. Of course, it was Islam I wanted. Islam. Number 2, Troy, the World Heritage Site, is located in Turkey. Number 3, that film I was after, which is loosely based on the 8 evil thoughts in Greek of some monk, of course, which turned out to be the 7 deadly sins, was, of course, the film Seven. Number 4, that Chinese multinational company, was Alibaba. Nearly another reference to Alba again, but never mind. Number 5, I was after Lulu. Lulu took over from Julie Walters to be the mother, the character's mother even. Number 6, behind Windermere, the lake I wanted was Ullswater. Ullswater. It's a water, not a lake, apparently, but never mind. Let's not worry about that. Number 7, founded by English teacher Isaac Newell. That was a tricky one. Which South American country? It was Argentina. Number 8, I was after ambidextrous. Number 9, in the Great Plague, of course, they put red crosses on people's front doors. And finally, number 10, if you rearrange the first letter of the first words in the previous 9 answers, you should have ended up with the Commonwealth country on the other side of the world, Australia. Australia. So well done if you got that. Even if you managed to get Australia, if you worked all the others backwards, well done if you did that as well. So we have some scores coming in. Dave and Anne Anderson on 27 points. Well played, you two. Chris and his wife on 29 points. Well done, Chris. Martin Davidson, the Weak Links, also on 29 points. The Teasers, however, have moved on to a fantastic 32 points. Well played, Clive and Janet with the Teasers. Georgia and Rory on 27 points for the Yorkies. Michelle's doing well on 31 points, as is PRS also on 31 points. Sorry, that's Michelle, Charlie and James. PRS, of course, is Robin, Matthew and Claire. Squeaky Bomb on 30. We've got Carol Green. She's on 32. A satisfying row of ticks. That's what I like to see. The famous 5, John and Hillary and gang, have moved on to 30 points. We've got Pickamix on 31. John Hunwick's on 31. Jill and Steve Pugh on 30 points. Well played them, as are the Ridgeways. That's going to be a good competition tonight. Trish and Paul and Anthony, I trust. Phil's also on 30. Well played, Phil. Home Alone 6. They've just gone off my screen. Bother, where have they gone? 29 points. Well played, Carol and gang. Graham and Jane Giffen are on 31 points. Penny Graham's on 29. Split the difference and moved on to 33 points. Yet to drop a point. Mike Yates is on 25. Don Quizzotti not far behind on a fantastic 32 points. Got Faye McSorley, she's saying Faye and the Boob Prize girls, full marks this time. Yay, well, I thought that was a hard round, but well played, Faye, 26 points. Paula and Val are on a fantastic 33 points with the Quizzy Rascals. Mick Roberts has moved on to 300, which I presume is 30. Mick, well played, Mick and Bev. A little bit ahead of the rest of us at the moment. Royce just said, I'll give my right arm to be ambidextrous. I'm sure you would. Pinky and Perky, full marks on that round, so 31 points. Well played, everybody, working that one out. I thought that was quite tricky. Jen and Tracy are on 27. We've got Harry, Julie, Ian and his bottle of Shiraz. They've added 9 to their score on a fantastic 32 points. With Keith Mitchell on 26. Well played, Keith. Sarah, Russ, James and Joe are also on 29. The Rugby Rotary Club, they've to drop a point yet on a fantastic 33 points. Debbie McCarthy on 27 with Footy Fox 86 on a very respectable 23 points. Right then, everybody, round number 4 is entitled Q. 10 general knowledge questions themed around the letter Q, or in one of them, not that at all, but you'll get the idea when we get there. So question number 1, pretty straightforward, starting with the letter Q. No, it doesn't. What am I on about? Which well-known 63-year-old polymath was the original host of the TV show QI? He's my age. I couldn't believe it when I looked it up. Well, he's actually closer to my wife's age than me, but he is my age. What? It's only a few months between us, you know. So which well-known 63-year-old polymath was the original host of the TV show QI? Now then, question number 2. I am only after, I'll give you half a point for each correct answer here. Name the 2 countries in the world that have the letter Q in their name, but where it isn't the first or the last letter. So nothing for Qatar, nothing for Iraq. So name the 2 countries in the world that have the letter Q in their name, but where it isn't the first or the last letter. 2 possibilities, as far as I know, unless you're making it up as you go along. I didn't do an awful lot of research on this because I figured there weren't any more, but never mind. Maybe there are. I will give you half a point for each of those countries. Chris is saying we are part of the remote audience for QI this week. Very interesting to see the whole show filled. Oh, fantastic. Is this via Zoom then, Chris? I presume you've got to zoom in and join, have you, and wave at the screen and do that kind of thing. That sounds very interesting. Right, question number 3. In the James Bond film, The World Is Not Enough, who played an assistant to Q known as R? He eventually played Q in Die Another Day following Desmond Llewellyn's death in 1999. That's a bit tricky. So in the James Bond film, The World Is Not Enough, who played an assistant to Q known as R? He eventually played Q in Die Another Day following Desmond Llewellyn's death in 1999. He only got called R because James Bond turned around and said, well, if you're Q, you must be R. Stupid, I know, but never mind. That's as it came over in the film, apparently. Question number 4. What does the letter Q stand for in the abbreviation IQ? So when we're talking about somebody's IQ, what does the letter Q stand for in the abbreviation IQ? It's a good word by any standards, that one. Question number 5. I'm sure some of you would have bought this magazine regularly. Published between 1986 and 2020. What was the subject of the, what subject was the monthly Q magazine centered around? So question 5 again, published between 1986 and 2020. What subject was the monthly Q magazine centered around? Question number 6. I think my grandfather was one of these, but what does QC stand for when it's written after a lawyer's name? So question number 6 again, what does QC stand for when it was written after a lawyer's name? This is a dead easy round, isn't it? Surely. Question number 7. What word represents the letter Q in the NATO phonetic alphabet? So question 7 again. What word represents the letter Q in the NATO phonetic alphabet? Come on, they couldn't get much easier than this, could they? Easy so far, said Carol. That's what I like to see. This one's a bit testing, but interesting. Question number 8. The Q-Tips brand is owned by Unilever and had over 250 million in US sales in 2020. But what does the Q stand for in the name Q-Tips? That's an interesting one, isn't it? It's a kind of stupid question. You're never ever going to get asked again, are you? Surely not. It's one I made up, so you're never going to get... Nobody's going to come up with this question again, are they? So the Q-Tips brand is owned by Unilever and had over 250 million in US sales in 2020. But what does the Q stand for in the name Q-Tips? Question number 9 is a bit of a play on words or letters, as the case may be. What is an early 20th century avant-garde art movement that revolutionized European painting and sculpture and inspired related movements in music, literature, and architecture? Bit of a play on words, that, to be fair, or letters. So question 9 again, what is an early 20th century avant-garde movement that revolutionized European painting and sculpture and inspired related movements in music, literature, and architecture? And finally, question number 10. I tested this one on my daughter and she got this right, so I hope you'll all get this one right. Based on a novel called Q&A by Vikas Swarup, what Asian-based film won the Best Picture Oscar in 2009? So question 10 again, based on a novel called Q&A by Vikas Swarup. What Asian-based film won the Best Picture Oscar in 2009? Well then, all those questions or answers should have had something to do with the letter Q, or the word Q. There were a couple of tricky ones in there, I have to admit, but nothing stupid. Now, do remember, if you've liked tonight's quiz, hit the like button, because if you haven't already hit the like button, because I've only got 39 likes so far, so we need to just take that above 40. And, of course, do feel free to subscribe to Nick's YouTube channel, which is Pewee1957. Pretty easy. Just hit the subscribe button. It's on the screen somewhere. And you will be sent updates on whatever's going on. Right then, I don't think we need an awful lot of time there, but do feel free, if you do feel you need a bit more time, put a little bit, just say, I need a bit more time, please, or whatever else. But I'm pretty sure most people should have an answer, at least for most of those. Ian's saying he's done, so if Ian's done, we're all done, surely. What? No, sorry, Ian. Oh. Right then, let's do some marking in this round. These were 10 general knowledge questions themed around the letter Q. We started off which well-known 63-year-old polymath was the original host of the TV show QI. That was Stephen Fry, of course. Number 2, now half a point for each of those, or each of these. The 2 countries I've got in the world that have Q in their name, but isn't the first or the last letter, are Mozambique, which of course we had the other week because it's the only one with all the vowels in as well, and Equatorial Guinea. Well done if you've got Equatorial Guinea. That was a bit tricky. Half point for each of those. Number 3, of course, the James Bond film The World Is Not Enough, who played an assistant to Q known as R and eventually played Q in the next film. It was John Cleese, of course, John Cleese. Question number 4, what does the letter Q stand for in the abbreviation IQ? That's intelligence quotient. So quotient I was after. Number 5, published Q magazine, of course, is centered around music. Number 6, QC stands for Queen's Counsel. If it's written after a lawyer's name, Queen's Counsel. Number 7, what word represents the letter Q in the Nato phonetic alphabet? That's Quebec, of course. Number 8 was a bit tricky. Q-tips, of course. The Q stands for quality. Apparently, if you've got quality tips, you can call them Q-tips. No, perhaps that's a bit wrong. Sorry, being rude there. Right, question number 9. This was a bit silly. What in an early 20th century avant-garde art movement? Of course, that was Cubism. Cubism. Not spelt with a Q at all, but never mind. You got the idea of that one. And finally, number 10, based on the novel Question and Answers by Vikas Swarup. The film I was after was Slumdog Millionaire. Of course, it was about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, played in Bollywood, I suppose. And a good film it was. Right then, let's have some scores and see how we're all faring, because we're doing very well. I'm sure all of us must be there or thereabouts. So we've got the famous 5 straight in with a fantastic 38 points. Well played, the famous 5. The Quizzy Rascals, however, on 42 points. Well played, Paula. And Val Barnes on 42 points. And anybody else in the team, you'll have to let me know, Paula, if there's anybody else in the team I need to say hi to. We've got Martin Davis, Martin and team are on a fantastic 37 points. John's on 40. Well played, John. Squeaky Bob. 39.5 points. Well played them. Jed and Tracer on 35 points. We've got David and Anderson, 34.5 points. Chris Peaks on 37. We've got the Teasers on 41 points. They're teasing us tonight. And Michelle's moved up to also onto 41 points. Well played them. We've also got the Yorkies. Well played Rory and Georgia on 36 points. PRS have moved on to 41 points. We got Sarah, Russ, James and Joe. They're doing pretty well on 35 points. We've got Ian Sharrett, that's Ian, Harry Julian and his bottle of Shiraz. They've added 9 to their score to take them on to 41. Trish, Paul and Anthony are on 38.5 points tonight. We've got FaZe on the Booby Prize Girls, 32.5 points. Carol Green saying yes, 42 points. Well played, Carol. Footy Fox 86 moved on to 30.5. The Giffords, that's Graham and Jane. They've moved on to 40 points. Very respectable score there. Split their difference are on 43 points. I think they're up there or thereabouts at the moment. They may be the team to beat tonight. We've got Phil on 38.5. Well played, Phil. Pick and Mix, 39 points. We got Don Quizzotti on 42 points. Home Alone 6 are on 37 points. We've got Debbie McCarthy on 36. Keith Mitchell on 35. Penny Graham's on 34. Chris Speaky says, come on, Roy. What's with all the half points? Kevin Kieran, the Rugby Rotary Club. Well, they've dropped a point at last. They're on a fantastic 42 points. Well played then. Jill Pugh, 8.5. Oh, that's what I've got wrong. He was a JP, not a QC. You're right, Jill. I got that wrong. Mick Roberts is on 39 points. Jill Pugh, they've done very well. They're now on 38.5 points. We've got Pinky and Perky. They're on 39 points. I'm sorry, I've gone out of sync again, I can tell. So I'm just going to let my computer see whether it will catch up. I don't know what the little arrow button at the bottom is. That might be the refresh button. I don't know. I have a button on the bottom of my screen, which is a little arrow. Whether that will take me and bring me back, I don't know. Now, come and look at my screen. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my... You see that button there? See that one there? I've got volume there. I don't know what that is. I don't want to go and eat it and then find out what this page is. Right, just give me a second. Everything seems to have gone pear-shaped with the picture again, but never mind. I'm sure it will catch up. Yeah, it's about 10 seconds behind at the moment. It's only 10 seconds behind at the moment. Right, what's my next round? Are you ready, Liz? Come on, Michelle. Right then, everybody. Sorry about the delay on the screen. I can only hope it will catch up, so don't bother looking at me. Just listen to the questions, and I'm sure the picture will catch me up eventually. As light travels faster than sound, so to speak. Now we're back in sync. Did you see it gallop ahead there all of a sudden? Right, here we go then. This is round 5. It's a trivia trail where the last letter of your first answer is the first letter of your next answer. Now, for all those that are watching the chase this week, you may remember this question. Question number 1, well, similar. In what event did Robbie Grabarz win a bronze medal for Great Britain at the 2012 Olympic Games? Chris has just said, I got a job at the Ford factory. We celebrated with the Fiesta. Ian's just said, I've just applied for a job at the Citroen car factory. I had to send 2 CVs. Oh dear. Question number 2. Listen carefully. Now, do remember to take the last letter of your first answer. It's the first letter of this answer. If you travel directly east from New York City, which country would you reach first? I'm sure 1 or 2 of you will have heard of that. So if you travel directly east from New York, which country would you reach first? Right, take the last letter of that country, and it's the first letter of this one-word answer. Question number 3. What one word can describe a French dish of sliced, pan-fried potatoes and thinly sliced onions sautéed in butter with parsley? So question 3 again. What one word can describe a French dish of sliced, pan-fried potatoes and thinly sliced onions sautéed in butter with parsley? Royce just said, they turned me down at Vauxhall. They said my attitude was too cavalier. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Come on, more motoring questions, motoring jokes. They sound good to me. You're doing very well there, boys. Right, take the last letter of that one-word answer I'm after, and it's the first letter of question number 4. Dan Dare is a British science fiction comic hero created by illustrator Frank Hampson. But in which comic did he appear in? So question 4 again. Dan Dare is a British science fiction comic hero created by illustrator Frank Hampson. But in which comic did he appear? Come on, Roy, you must be able to come up with another one after that cavalier joke of yours. Question number 5. We had this some months ago, but I thought I'd put it back in because I need a letter to help you out. What was the 5... Yeah, I'm just checking that. What was the 5-word name of the scheme that ran throughout August last year to encourage people to enjoy meals in restaurants, cafes, and pubs? So question 5 again. What was the 5-word name of the scheme that ran throughout August of last year to encourage people to enjoy meals in restaurants, cafes, and pubs? Yes, it'd be great if they ran that again, just for my pubs, obviously. Half price. Sponsored by the government, that would sound good. Just for the pubs in Rugby, of course. I said, I got a job at Rolls-Royce. I turned it with drugs. They said I had the spirit of ecstasy. Oh, dear. Very good. Question number 6. Now, listen out. The last letter of that previous phrase is the first letter of this one. Question number 6. Which Italian dessert consists of layers of sponge cake soaked in coffee and brandy or liqueur with powdered chocolate and mascarpone cheese? So which Italian dessert consists of layers of sponge cake soaked in coffee and brandy or liqueur with powdered chocolate and mascarpone cheese? Got some jokes coming out. What's he put? Ian's put, didn't know Jesus was the first to own a motorcycle. I could hear his triumph all over the land. Yeah. Well, it's a bit like Moses. He came down the mountain in his triumph, didn't he? Dear. Leslie's put, I applied for a job at Reliant, but they said I wasn't. Oh, dear. Oh, Chris has put, I I win an award at the Vauxhall factory. It meant I won an award at the Vauxhall factory. I was the victor. Oh, dear God. And Robin saying after that, yeah, that's something to do with the question I asked. Right then, take the last letter of the dessert, and it's the first letter of number 7. By what one-word name is Schubert's Symphony number 8 better known? So question 7 again, by what one-word name is Schubert's Symphony number 8 better known? Right, take the last letter of that symphony, and it's the first letter of this 2-word answer. Which singer had a string of hits in the 1970s and is often referred to as the Queen of Disco? Now, there's not many of us old enough to remember disco, but I do. So which singer had a string of hits in the 1970s and is often referred to as the Queen of Disco? I'm sure all my Rotarian friends will get that one, as we're all boogieing along back in the 70s. Right, take the last letter of her surname. I did say her there. And it's the first letter of number 9. What is the official base unit of currency in Indonesia, the Maldives, Mauritius, and Nepal? That's just to name a few. There's more than that. So what's the official base unit of currency in Indonesia, the Maldives, Mauritius, and Nepal? Just a one-word answer I'm after. And finally, number 10, of course, take the last letter of that currency, and it's the first letter of this one. And take the last letter of this one, it's the first letter, of course, of number 1. So what name is given to a phrase written in memory of a person who has died, especially as an inscription on a tombstone or a gravestone? So what name is given to a phrase written in memory of a person who has died, especially as an inscription on a gravestone? I don't know why I put tombstone. They're called gravestones, really. That's just a one-word answer. Take the last letter of that name, and it is the first letter of question number 1, which may help you enormously. Right, I will give you a minute just to try and work the connections out with all of those. So no desperate hurry. Do remember, Wednesday we will have a quiz as always, starting 8 for 8:15. I'm going to drop the resolution back, see whether I can stop this ridiculous. I could just go back to my old thing, but we'll see. Wait a minute, I've got some more jokes coming in here. Wait a minute, sorry, my thing's gone off the back. So, which Italian dessert? Which planet? Martin saying which planet? Can't be Uranus, can it, Martin? Surely not. My car was stolen. I was stuck with just my phone. Nokia. Oh, that's very clever. Well done, Phil. My car was stolen. I was stuck with just my phone. Nokia. Dear. Oh, dear. Roy's just put a woman then. Yeah, sorry, Roy. I wasn't keeping up with that. Well, I did say a woman, didn't I? Which singer had seen? Oh, the disco queen. Well, it's not going to be a bloke, is it? Yeah, right. Okay. Chris Beak, I saw my Welsh and Korean friends. I greeted them saying, Hyun dan die. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I've got one of those, a Hyundai. Yeah, they're a great car by any standards. Oh dear. Ian's just put, new Teslas don't come with a new car smell. They come with Elon Musk. That's very clever. Well done, Ian. I like that one. Right then, everybody, let's go back to the beginning and see. I trust everybody's got all of those. So the trivia trail, we started off. Here we go. The answers to the previous answer. I went for an interview at Daihatsu, but it turned out there was no job. It was just a charade. See. Well done, Roy. Keep them coming. They're really good jokes. So here we go then. Question number 1. In what event did Robbie Grabarse win a bronze medal for Great Britain at the 2012 Olympic Games? That was the high jump. That gave you the P, of course, for the city of the country of Portugal. That in turn gave you the L for Lyonnaise potatoes or Lyonnaise potatoes. That gave you an E for the Eagle, of course, that comic I was after. That in turn gave you another E for Eat Out to Help Out. That silly scheme that encouraged transmission of the disease, of course. That in turn gave you the T for tiramisu, which in turn gave you the U for an unfinished symphony. Schubert's number 8 was better known as the Unfinished. That in turn gave you the D for Donna Summer, the Queen of Disco. Well done if you got Donna Summer. That in turn gave you the R for the rupee, which is the currency of Indonesia, the Maldives, Mauritius, Nepal, Pakistan, India. Yeah, okay. That in turn gave the E for an epitaph, of course. That phrase written on a gravestone, or tombstone indeed. So, and that, of course, took you all the way back to high jump. So let's have some scores in, see how I've done after that round. I don't think that was particularly tricky, so I'm hoping some teams have got full scores and are doing very well. So fine, the Booby Prize girls have moved on to 38.5 points. Sarah, Russ, Joe, James have moved on to 45 points. Did you spell Grabarse correctly? Yeah, I did. And it is Grabarse, yeah, with a Z. I can't remember what his middle name was. I did look it up today, but never mind. All right, Martin Davis, the Weak Links, they've moved on to 44 points. The Teasers are on 51 points. David Allenson on 43.5. We've got the Yorkies, that's Georgia and Rory, 44 points. Jed and Tracy are doing ever so well on 45 points. Michelle, however, is on 50 points, with Carol Green on 52 points. Pink and Perky have moved on to 49. Well played, Pink and Perky. The famous 5 also on 48 points. Jane and Graham Gifford are on 50 points. Home Alone 6 are on 47 points. We've got Phil. Phil's on 48.5. Well played, Phil, with PRS just ahead on 51 points. John Humwick's on 49. We've got Squeaky Bob on 49. The Ridgeways, that's Trish, Paul and Anthony on 48.5 tonight. We've got the Rugby Roach Club, 52 points. They're in the running to take the title tonight. Harry, Julie, Ian and the Bottle of Shrads, they've added 10 to their score with 51 points. Penny Graham's on 41. We've got Pick and Mix on 48. 40 Fox 86 on 35.5. Jill and Steve Pugh, 48.5 points. Paula Lewis and Val Barnes and the Quizzy Rascals are on 52 points. Keith Mitchell's on 42. Split the difference, however. They have yet to drop a point. 53 points. Debbie McCarthy's moved on to 45 with Don Quizzotti on 52 points. Well played, them. Mike Yates is on 40. Mick Roberts is on 49. Ian saying, old enough for disco. I'm more only the lonely. More only the lonely. Robin's just saying, I'm always disappointed that the Unfinished Symphony just doesn't stop in the middle of a movement. You're right, it ought to. You're trooping along there, suddenly it stops. Now that's what I call, and it should be, shouldn't it? Unfortunately, people tend to fill in the gaps for us, don't they, without knowing really what the composer wanted. Oh, it looks like my computer's just behind. Right, it's catching up. Here we go then. Last round tonight is called General Trivia. General Trivia. Now, do remember, if you'd like to partake on Wednesday night quiz, do come and join us. It's 8 for 8:15 on a Wednesday night. And it's just as tricky and just as silly, but never mind. And of course, if you've liked tonight's quiz, do give me the thumbs up with the like button. It's very easy. And do feel free to just subscribe to Pewee1957, which is my YouTube channel, with a simple subscribe button, which should be in the bottom right-hand corner somewhere. Not that I can see it on my screen, but never mind. Right then, question number 1. Listen to this carefully. It was on the television tonight. In a recent Aviva Insurance television advert concerning car insurance, what type of shop does the young lady run into? So question 1, in the recent Aviva Insurance television advert concerning car insurance, what type of shop does the young lady run into? I'm sure that's not particularly difficult. Question number 2. If you read the Latin instructions on a medical prescription anti-sebum, when would you have to take your medication? So question 2 again. If you read the Latin instructions on a medical prescription anti-sebum, when would you have to take your medication? Ian's put, at least it wasn't the same as George Michael. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to there, Ian, but never mind. In the middle of the movement. Yeah, just stop in the middle of a movement. Yeah, okay. And John's just put, I bought a Honda. It was my civic duty. Oh, dear. Make it worse. That's a good one. I like that, John. Very good joke. Question number 3. What is the common name for calcium carbonate? It forms under reasonably deep marine conditions from the gradual accumulation of minute calcite shells shed from microorganisms. So question 3 again, what is the common name for calcium carbonate? It forms under reasonably deep marine conditions from the gradual accumulation of minute calcite shells shed from microorganisms. Question number 4, this is a bit trickier. Whose ashes were taken by the New Horizons probe for a near flyby of Pluto 5 years ago and are now the only human ashes in interstellar space? Not quite sure how many billion miles away, but it's many billion miles away now. So whose ashes were taken by the New Horizon probe for a near flyby of Pluto 5 years ago and are now the only human ashes in interstellar space? Well, you can have a guess at that even if you don't know it. Question number 5. What was the name of the pessimistic, gloomy, depressed, old grey stuffed donkey who was a friend of Winnie the Pooh? So question 5, what was the name of the pessimistic, gloomy, depressed, old stuffed grey donkey who is a friend of Winnie the Pooh? What was that word I was trying to teach Martha? Depressed and gloomy. I can't remember. She came out with it. No, I can't be in my book of words. Question number 6. What name is given to the group of metabolic diseases in which there are high blood sugar levels over a prolonged period? It's just a one-word answer I'm after. So what name is given to the group of metabolic diseases in which there are high blood sugar levels over a prolonged period? Oh, lugubrious, that's what it was. Question number 7, not quite sure how to pronounce it. It is a unit of measure, which I remember. The gill or the gill, I'm not sure, I think it's the gill, is an old unit of measurement for volume equal to what fraction of a pint? So the gill or the gill is an old unit of measurement for volume equal to what fraction of a pint? Chris has just said, I bought a French van from Peugeot. The engine had plenty of punch. It was a boxer. That's very good. Dear God. All these one-liners, you know, you should send them off to Tim Vine. He could come out with all these. Question number 8, 3 questions to go. Here we go then. Red Circle, Black Ivory, and Dow Egberts are all companies famous for the production of what commodity? Michelle's just put, the man who invented predictive text has died. His funfair's next monkey, may he rust in peace. That's very clever. Well done, Michelle. Oh dear. So question 8 again. Red Circle, Black Ivory, and Dow Egberts are all companies famous for the production of what commodity? Well, the sale, I should say, of what commodity, perhaps rather than the production, but never mind. Question number 9. Here we go. The Camalodunum was the ancient Roman name for which town? It was an important area of Roman Britain and the first capital of the province. So Camalodunum was the ancient Roman name for what town? It was an important area of Roman Britain and the first capital of the province. Dear Chris has just said, I ordered a Ford van, but it never arrived. It was lost in transit. Dear God. Very clever, Chris. Very clever. I think I'm going to give Chris Speak the Joke Award tonight. He's come up with more than anybody else, just about. So does he get an extra point, should we say, for all the extra jokes tonight? Maybe. I'll leave it up to you, Chris, whether you give yourself an extra point or not. Question number 10 to finish the quiz off tonight. Here we go. Peter Davison played which character in the television version of James Herriot's All Creatures Great and Small? I'll just accept his first name. Well, no, I won't. Let's have his proper name. So Peter Davison played which character in the television version of James Herriot's All Creatures Great and Small? That's just a pretty much general knowledge question at the end there. Right then, everybody, you've had 10 general knowledge questions. 2 of those were tricky. The rest, well, 3 of those were tricky. I think the rest were pretty straightforward. So then, do we need any more time? Or are we happy with what we've put down? Do you have a guess at those you possibly don't know? And we'll see. Right, here we go then. Here are the answers. I will put you out your misery straight away. In the recent Aviva Insurance television advert, car insurance, what type of shop does the young lady run into? She runs into a pet shop. A pet shop. Question number 2. The Latin instructions on the medical prescription antecebum means before meals. Before meals. So well done if you got that. Number 3, of course, calcium carbonate is better known as chalk. Number 4, that was the tricky one. Whose ashes were taken on the New Horizons probe for a near flyby? Well, they actually weren't taken just primarily to go to Pluto. But it was the guy that discovered Pluto. It was Patrick Tombaugh. So well done if you got Patrick Tombaugh. That was tricky. Number 5, what was the name of the pessimistic, lugubrious, gloomy, depressed, old stuff grey donkey? That was Eeyore. Number 5, of course, that group of diseases is better known as diabetes. Number 7, the gill, or gill, is an old unit of measurement. It's a quarter of a pint, Number 8, Red Circle, Black Ivory, and Dow Egberts are all companies famous for selling, of course, the commodity known as coffee. Camelodonum was also known as Colchester, or known as Colchester these days. And finally, of course, I was after Tristan Farnan, who played James Herriot in All Creatures Great and Small. So it's Tristan Farnan. So well done if you got that. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in, see how I've all fared. I don't expect anybody to get full score on that round, but maybe they did. We'll see. Right, Jed and Tracy, they've ended up with a fantastic 53 points. Well played, Jed and Tracy. That was some good going tonight. Out of a possible 63, I think if you've only dropped 10, that's still a very good score. John Hunwick's ended up on 558 points. Well done, John. Mick Roberts on 57. Carol Green said, oh dear, 60 points. The Weak Links on 51. Sarah ends up on 53. We've got Squeaky Bob on 58. Phil ends up on, well played, Phil, on 56.5 points. Faye's on 44.5 points. Jill Pugh, that's a good score, 56.5 points. John saying, oops, on 58 points. Well played, John. Georgie and Rory end up on 50. Well played, the Yorkies. What have we got to? Home Alone 6 end up on 54. Penny Graham on 50. The famous 5, very consistent, 56 again. It was 56 last week. Well played, John Roll. That is consistency. Pick and Mix on 56. The Teasers, however, end up on 60 with Ian, Anthony, James, and Don Quixote. Fantastic score, 61 points. Well played, Joe. PRS on 60 points. We got Keith Mitchell on 52. 40 Fox 86 ended up on 42.5. The Quizzy Rascals end up on 61 points. Well played, the Quizzy Rascals. Pink and Perky, 58 points. They're saying good quiz. Thanks, Nick. Trish Ridgway and Paul and Anthony, I trust, are on 56.5. Debbie McCarthy ends up on 54. Well played, Debbie. David and Anderson on 51.5. Harry Julian in, another 10 points on that round. How did you get 10 points on that round? Well played. If you got Patrick Tombaugh, that was very good indeed. 61 points. Michelle saying tricky last round. Well, it was. We lost some points, but never mind. 57 points. Well played, Michelle. Jane and Graham Giffen on 57. Well played, you. Question 4. Clyde, not Patrick. Surely, Clyde Tombaugh, yes. And Kevin Kinnan, Rugby Rose Club, 61 points. That's a great score as well. Mike Yates on 48. Thanks for the quiz. Next quiz, shall we have a lip sync round? We could have a lip sync round. We'll see whether we can get rid of that. Split the difference. It looks like they might have won it on 62 points. Well played there. Split the difference. So have we got anybody else to speak? Should I say to beat Split the Difference's score of 62? They've only dropped 1 point all night long. Yeah, I got Clyde Tombaugh. Oh, well, perhaps it was Clyde Tombaugh. Patrick Clyde Tombaugh. Tom, where did I get Patrick from? Never mind. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for taking part. It does appear, after all the scores are in, that Split the Difference on 62 points have picked it tonight. They've picked you all by 1 point, so well played. The Rugby Roach Club on 61 points. We got Ian Sharrett, Harry Julian in his bottle of Shrouds on 61 points. We've got the Quizzy Rascals on 61 points and Don Quixote on 61 points. So well played, all you. Is there anybody else on 61 points? What did PRS end up with? Carol Green on 60. Well played, Carol. We've also got the Teasers on 60 points, along with PRS also on 60 points. So 61s, 60, 61, 62s. They were the winning scores tonight. So well played, everybody. Thank you very much for taking part. Do feel free before you leave to hit the like button. I've got 49 likes. If we could hit 50 tonight, that would be great. So do feel free before you leave, just hit that like button. Great to see you. Hopefully, for those that don't take part in the Wednesday night quiz, if you'd like to come and join us, do feel free to come and join us on Wednesday night. Same time, same place, same channel. And if not, come and join us next Sunday as usual, and let's see whether we can get plus 80. Do invite all friends, neighbours, colleagues to come and join in with the quiz. You're more than welcome to take part. Anyway, good night all. I'm signing off now. See whether I can get the lip sync problem sorted out for next week, but that's great. So good night all. Thank you very much for taking part.